Good morning, everybody. It's Holly from Besotted Orchids. Thank you for joining me today. Happy? Yeah, I'm in a pretty good mood. I survived the crud, whatever was going around last week. I survived it. Spent the whole week in bed, sleeping, coughing, making my family miserable. It was rough. I'm still really pale, but I'm coming around the other end, and the sun is shining, and there are signs of spring. There are signs of spring outdoors. There are signs of spring in the orchid world. So spring is coming. I'm so glad. I actually was down in the basement talking to my kayak the other day. I was like, giving her a little pat, and I was pretty depressed being sick. And I went down and I said, we had a really, really good run last time on the lake for our last day out, but we're going to have a good summer. So, yeah, I'm ready to get back on the lake when they melt. I'm going to get myself back out there. But anyhow, enough about that. Excuse my congestion. I'm hoping everybody is having a really great time. I hope you're not under the weather with anything terrible going on. It's just the way it is. You go out into the world, you're going to contract something from somebody who's shopping at Walmart. Anyhow, signs of spring that I want to talk about. I don't know what to do first. We're going to do this one first. I have something special I want to share with you. This is my Renee Marquet Tyler. And let me get up here. I was watering yesterday. And I do want to share, where was it? Oh, several spots, of course, when I was watering. There is brand new growth. There are green growth tips in this orchid. See that back in there? Oh, put a leaf right on it. That is a beautiful green tip on this orchid. So I do see some leaves in here. When you are working with your orchids, whatever you're doing with them, just give them a quick go over. These are just dead leaves. Get that off. That is just a place for things to hide. Mealybugs, scale, whatever in the world would be hiding in your collection, it's going to hide in there. And moisture. We don't want spots where moisture can just get down in there and sit. The moisture needs to hit it and go away. We just don't want hiding places. So that was very quick. I got that cleaned up. And I might go ahead and remove this little brown tip. You can see there. Just take that off with a scissor. Anyhow, I wanted to talk to you about the growth coming on the orchid world. This one here in particular was doing really well. I see like 4 or 5 new growth points. Kind of had a bad year last year. It blasted. I was all excited wanting to see the blooms on it because it is a particular favorite of mine. And it blasted. So I was not happy with that. Once again, not this thing's fault. It cannot get up and go to the sink and get water. So these orchids are probably gasping when they hear me say kayak. I'm sorry, babies. I'm obsessed. It's in my blood now. So anyhow, another sign of spring that's really good to see. I was really afraid I had lost my second one. This is Silogeny utasana. And we have 3 new growths on it. Now, if you can see down in that growth, they are layer after layer that are pointing up. You don't want to get water. You don't want to just spray willy-nilly water on top of this. It's going to go down inside there, and it's going to stay, and it's going to cause rot. You want to be more careful when you have new growth coming on that you're watering around the base of the orchid. Mine go down in an actual pot to water, and I do put some water on the top of my orchids, but I would never just willy-nilly spray this one because of this right here. I don't want to have moisture stuck in there. I just absolutely do not. Now, before I forget, I do want to mention one thing. I have a viewer, and if I had thought about it, I would have pulled your name up. I'm so sorry. Who did ask about when to start rewatering your cattleyas after winter. I never stop. Perhaps you meant dendrobiums. If you meant cattleyas, please go ahead and water your cattleyas. You can taper back because they're probably not in active growth. Taper back, they don't need tons and tons of water, but they do need water. you don't want to desiccate them and dry them out over the winter. The only things, to my knowledge, that you stop watering in the winter would be some of your dendrobiums, the Lindleyi, the aggregatum, I believe both names for that one, Lindleyi, yeah, and the anosmum here. These have to stop watering. Okay, I'm going to have some viewers. I do have somebody that popped up and said, I never stop watering mine. It's wonderful if it's working for you. I was having problems, so I did stop watering, and I did follow what I'm hearing everybody else say. Excuse me. Anyhow, yeah, I am seeing some buds. There are some buds coming on this anosmum. So for me, this worked this year. I have 4 buds coming on, 2 on one side and 2 on the back side of it. So not a huge showing. And there's also new growth coming. So what I did after I see the buds developing nicely, and I see the 2 new growth points, I am starting to mist it lightly. I'm not fertilizing yet. I'm just misting it lightly with my little mister my husband got me for Christmas. But I'm just giving a little spritz, and then I will gradually add more and more to it. I don't want to do anything to damage what's coming on that was created by the winter rest. And my husband, I brought it over to proudly show him last night. He goes, wow, that's a really odd orchid. Is it supposed to look like that? Yes. I was very pleased to say it is supposed to look like a desiccated old whatever. But yeah, the majority of your collection should not look like this. If it does, you might want to start watering, but certain ones do. So yeah, I am very, very pleased to see that this one is this year starting to bloom for me. But starting to bud, let's not get ahead of ourselves. And as far as budding goes, I have 2 small buds on my miniature Cattleya that are beginning to form, and they will be opening shortly. I'm just struggling. All my leaves are struggling, and sadly, a side effect of my beautiful little birds living over there is they flitter about, and no matter how hard I try to keep the cage clean, there is dust on all of my orchids. All of the orchids that live in this room, bless their hearts, are being covered with bird dander, millet. They love millet. Anything that they can willy-nilly throw out of their cage and into the air, they're doing it. So I will try, before I bring orchids out, to show you, to remove most of it. But sometimes it just gets in there, and I can't spend my whole life cleaning up after those birds. Am I regretting my decision? No. Yes. No. I really didn't need birds. But they're here now. Like my husband says, 3 dogs are a bit much. I will admit 3 dogs are a bit much. He says, there are too many. We need to get rid of one. Who would you get rid of? Honestly, who would you get rid of? You can't. You can't get rid of these dogs. I mean, this is their home. So, yeah. Until he can point at one, and he would probably point at my beautiful Lilibet, my hiking dog. So that's not happening. She would hold her own out in the world, and I do have a wonderful, wonderful person in my life that if anything were to happen to me, she would go to. But she's not going unless something happens to Mama. She's not. She's like my best friend. So anyhow, back to signs of spring. This right here in front of me is LD's Bear King. This did come from, not Carmela. Not Carmela yet. We're not going to talk about Carmela yet. Might be part of my surprise. Okay, that's all I can think about. This came from Hauserman Orchids in Illinois, just outside Chicago. We have some really good roots here, but what we have here is starting to send out a really nice spike. And this is this spike stays. It's sequential. When this is done blooming, it'll just have a flower or 2 at a time. You don't cut that off. Do not cut that off. I have a Cornu cervi in the other room. It's a species, and it has a nice spike, and it kind of zigzags. I almost brought that over to show you. It kind of zigzags around, and I do need to put a growth space video up, but trust me, you don't want to see it today. You do not want to see it today. It's looking a little rough over there. Everything's just cluttered. So, although maybe you want to see the realities of the grow space, what it looks like living with orchids in your home. Orchid bark everywhere, flies. I don't know why there's flies and ladybugs. Oh my gosh. Whatever can get up against the window in this old house will do it. But, yeah, so this is putting out some signs of spring. And look at this beautiful, beautiful leaf. Now, your regular Phalaenopsis, I will put a video up with them this week because I have a couple things to show you with them. I finally have some things to show you. I haven't had anything to show you, and it's just been depressing. It's been awfully depressing. There's nothing going on. I have 2 orchids, three, because I bought a Christmas Phalaenopsis. I have 3 orchids in bloom right now. That's not how I want to roll. Even if I didn't have a channel, that is not how I would like to roll in life. I would like to have orchids blooming around me all the time, which I did have previously. Problem was, I dropped the ball. I wasn't tending them. I wasn't taking care of them the way I should have. So I'm hoping we're through the losses. I've sorted out anything that maybe I didn't even want to deal with anymore in the future. And I think we're going to be fine. I think we're going to be good to the point where I might do a little something after I'm done filming today. I might do a little something. But anyhow, the ones you get at the store are never going to be such bright, thin. It's thinner and shinier. These are very thin compared, can I say that word enough? Compared to the store-bought phals. They just are. Those are big, thick, and rubbery. I mean, these are rubbery also too, but they're very narrow leaves. So there you go. I feel like I'm back with the living. I feel like I'm kind of full of exuberance today. I feel like I'm going to live. So excuse me, I'm probably going to be a little silly. So anyhow, here's something else that when I was watering, my chair is hitting the wall, excuse me. When I was watering 2 nights ago, I did find this. If I can see the spot where they are and get it up to the camera for you. This is an orchid. See those? 2 buds forming on here. This is an orchid that I did buy last year. About this time, maybe it was April, so in the spring. So it is blooming when it bloomed last year. I bought it in bloom at the orchid show in Akron. I attended with my twin brother. So, yeah, this one came from there, and I think I bought 2 orange orchids. Now, last year it put on a lot of growth. It really just took off growing for me, and it put out a couple of sheaths, which is unusual because the growth right now that put out the buds, it never put a sheath out. So what's up with that? I don't know. But the sheaths all blasted, and this one here that never did a sheath. It's 2 beautiful buds. Now what you can hear something crackling. It's not the sheath. It is a little bit of actual, I guess you could call it a sheath covering. It's going around the new growth. I want to get that off because I don't want any mealies or anything hanging in that. So, but yeah, this will be a beautiful orange, and it did not come with the name. I did not lose this tag. Come on, I didn't lose this one. It was not lost. So, did I show you everything I brought over? You see my little hands going like this. Okay, let's talk about what I'm going to do. Tap that keyboard. Open up here. I have my keyboard sitting next to me, my laptop. My husband bought my son and I each laptops 2 years ago for Christmas, thinking we'd do great things with them. We just shop. We watch YouTube videos and we shop. Anyhow, I'm going to bring this up here real quick. Oh, what do we see here? We see Carmela orchids. I'm sorry. I have to. I was like, do I want grow lights for my orchid? Do I want to be responsible? Do I want to be responsible with my money? Do I want to get grow lights? Or do I want to get more orchids? Because let's think about this. Summer's coming. My room's gonna flood with lighting. It's just gonna flood. So I'm like, let's get the orchids. And then before winter comes, so I will be purchasing, probably in May, I'll be purchasing some grow lights. I think I want to get some Barinas. I'm going to get the 4-foot long Barinas. I've been looking at them because on my north side of the house here in the United States, Northern Hemisphere, north is it's not like Australia where you're flooded with your north windows. We have very, very poor light. That's our least light we have. And there's a big bank of windows in my room there where it tees off. I will have to put a video up. I'm telling you all about it. You can already know what it looks like if I'm in there showing you more. I should film in there a little bit more. The reason I don't, because I don't want to. No, I don't, because the lighting. It's a really big room. I suppose if I filmed early in the morning before I'm fighting all the light from all the different windows. I'm sitting right here now underneath a 300 and some odd LED bulb. It had to be very, very bright to combat what's going on behind me over there. I had to have so this is our dining table. So I really need to come up with something else because I can't, we're sitting here at night under like a 300 bulb. It is what it is. I don't have a setup in my home. There's no place in here to put a setup. I don't want to take space up for that. I have upper room. I tried filming in a couple of times. It just was so awkward and so unusual. It wasn't even nice. That's my sewing room. So priorities. But anyhow, back to what I'm up to. I'm looking, excuse me, and I'm like, do I want to be responsible? No. Yes, no. Avery's holiday season sale. Sheldon has some good sales going on right now. If you're in the mood to really bulk up your collection fast, you want to bulk it up, you need to head over to Carmela. He's got some good sales. Now you have to watch. Some of the sales require you to pay shipping. Watch that, please. Because I typically do not go that route because I'm cheap. I want a sale that has free shipping because it's coming from Hawaii. So anyhow, I am looking at Avery's holiday season sale. $142. It will, Avery, which is I believe a granddaughter, will send you 12 Mariclone plants that are big enough to bloom. Mariclone, meaning they've been cloned from a mother plant. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. Big enough to bloom. Not in bud, not in spike. You know I love to see that pretty coming out of my boxes. Big enough to bloom, $142, free shipping. And it's very simple. There's just a little button that says add to cart. I'm sorry. I truly am not high on anything. I feel like I am. I'm just high on that sun out there, and I'm high on the fact that I'm not in bed anymore. I'm not in bed. My husband came up to check on me 2 days ago at like 10 a.m. because I just want to make sure he's still alive. It's a lot of sleeping. Definitely a lot of sleeping. But, okay, so that's one I'm considering. Pros, it's only 12 plants. Only 12. And these are going to be a variety. These are not plants that I am handpicking. I'm not, at Hauserman going, I want this, I want this, I want this. Which is how I bought this. This was specifically ordered. The LB Bear King. Specific. So, that's not happening here. He will send you what he wants to send you in these specials. You can order certain orchids. He will have some on here. Just go to his website and check them out. You're going to pay more for that type of thing. I'm just going to tell you, you're going to pay a little bit more. So, number 1, 12 Mariclone plants, $142, free shipping, big enough to bloom. That's okay. That would be great if I had a lot of orchids in bloom for the spring. That'd be great. I'm thinking about hosting a Galentine party here. I'm thinking about Easter. I'm thinking about just moving into spring. I want some blooms. So, let me see here. Okay, now see here. Avery. Avery's very busy this week. Avery's a busy little girl. Her summer visit, 3-year-old Avery, is going to be out in the greenhouse with Papa. She's going to be, Sheldon took her Papa. 100 assorted plugs, $145. It'd be great if I had a greenhouse. If I had a greenhouse or a conservatory, there's no reason not to get plugs in and boost my collection that way. I'm not interested in that. We're going to go on down past that. But what they do have right here, oh my gosh, come on, you guys already know what I'm going to do. Avery's 2023. And you say, yeah, well, it's 2025. Is this still applicable? If it's on his site, it is. It is still applicable. Mariclone sale, Avery will select for you 24 Maricone plants, 12 plants in 3 3/4 or 4-inch pot, and 12 plants in a 2.5-inch pot for $198. 24 plants. It's not bad, people. That is not bad at all. 12 of which will have spikes or buds. And you already know that's what sucked me right in. 12 plants coming with spikes or buds. Now here's the downside to this. The downside. As a bonus, you will also receive, 20 Mariclone plugs, 5 of 4 different varieties, free shipping. Now, I have absolutely no interest whatsoever in the plugs. I've done that before. I don't have the patience, time, desire, will. I don't care. I don't care about plugs. I just don't. And we don't have to apologize for things like that. If you're not into something, you're not into something. Everybody's orchid growing collections, everything's going to be specific to you. You buy how you want to buy. One of you out there is going, oh my gosh, I'm ordering that right now because I want the plugs. I want the pretty blooms and the plugs. That's a downer to me. Now, could I possibly, because I order so often, I don't know, say a little note or just call him and say, Sheldon, I don't want anything to do with your little plugs. I want nothing to do with them. Can you maybe put a little something else in instead? I don't know. I've ordered a lot from him. He knows I have a YouTube channel with a few people. And he's a great guy. He might do something like that. Or it's just nothing for me to do with them. Absolutely nothing unless I run them up to the Orchid Society and say, here's some free plugs for you people. Take them. So let's get real. That's probably the one I'm going to get. But I have to do something about the plugs. I just don't want them. He has so many specials on here. There is one more thing that I was looking at. Oh, that must have came up twice. I'm seeing that twice. There are 4 pages of, there are 4 pages. Special offer. Okay, online special offer from Sheldon, October. And this has been out for a long time. Yeah, several years. 3 plants in bloom, spike, or bud for $76, shipping free. If you only want 3 to set on your counter, to have pretty for some event coming up, that's the way to go. You're going to get your 3. You're not knowing we don't know what they are. I'm going to stress this. But Sheldon's going to send you something great. You've seen my unboxings. He's going to send something great. The other one that I was thinking, I'm not thinking about that one. I was thinking about, oh my. Here's a good one. If you want a lot of plants and you have a little cash, $485. Standard shipping rates with that high of a price. I'm a little surprised by that. 46 plants. Mini will be in spike. That's not bad. But the other one I was thinking about getting, I'm not going to find it. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm not thinking about that one. There was one that had like 6 dendrobiums. Now, mind you, when you say dendrobium, you might get a dendrobium like this beauty here. Your name R.K. Tyler. You may get a denphal. You may get a nobile. Those are all dendrobiums. This is a dendrobium. So when he tells you you may get a dendrobium, you don't know what you're gonna get. It could be anything. Excuse my little birds. They're being really naughty today. I have covered them up. Yeah, you heard me, Elsa. Naughty, naughty. I covered them up thinking they would be quiet, and they're just not listening. I won't be able to continue with this video much longer if they're going to provoke everybody listening. So anyhow, that's basically what's going on. Carmela orchids, very easy to find, way too easy to shop. way too easy to shop. And honestly, if I order these today, Monday, I would almost bet they'll be here Wednesday. And which is good because I am in Ohio. Yesterday, my driveway was a sheet of ice so thick, I had to meet somebody at the bottom of I sell sourdough starters to people. I had to meet somebody at the bottom of the driveway and say, please do not come up my driveway. I'm walking this down to you. Yeah. So we are in a warm spell here for the next couple of days. We're going to be almost 60 degrees. So now is the time to order. I need to order now. I would never order like 2 weeks ago. For the whole month of January, we sat below freezing. I mean, wow, we barely reached 1 degree. It was that viciously cold here. Furnace never ever shut off. It was just horrific. So anyhow, I do think, come on, you know me. I don't need 24 more orchids. Talk me out of this, people. Talk me out of this. Throw me a lifeline. I don't need 24 more. But then again, I did lose a lot of orchids with my gallivanting around the lake last year. I lost a lot of orchids. And I lost a little bit of interest in the orchids. I really did. Because I was like, this is just depressing. This is so depressing. I'm watering these orchids. I'm not seeing any blooms. I have the mealybugs. I saw a couple little bits of scale. A dehydration going on with my orchids because they weren't being watered. It was a rough go for me. I was like, I'm done. I don't want to live like this anymore. But I do. Spring's here. Spring's here. I survived the winter depression that is Ohio. I'm ready for some more orchids. And please excuse them. I don't know what their problem is. They're covered. But anyhow, I will be placing an order. And if I can talk to Sheldon, if I talk to him personally, I have to wait till 1 o'clock here. Is it 1 o'clock here? 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock, which is fine. I have to do some homeschooling here in a minute anyhow. If I talk to him personally, I have to wait to call till he's open around 1. Because I think we're 7 hours difference or something. He might work something out on the plugs. I don't know. I'm not saying call and bother him. I'm not telling you to do that. Don't do that to him. But I may say, please don't send the plugs. I'm just going to kill them all, Sheldon. I'm just going to kill them all. Save your plugs. The 24 sounds really great. Come on. So, but 12 is more responsible. So I don't know. You've seen the video today. Do I look like I'm a responsible, functioning human being today? I'm probably gonna get 24, which means we're gonna have some exciting times. We will have an unboxing, and 24. I will separate it out. You will have 12, and then I'll go have some coffee and piddle around, do whatever I want to do. I'll come back and film the last 12. So you'll have 2 different videos of that. I will give you a heads up on that if I do that. Also, Kingwood Garden Centers. 1 tear left eye with my right eye. 1 tear left eye. Very, very, very upset about this. My own fault. Come on, I have raging ADHD. I don't deal with anything. Some number came across repeatedly that I just didn't know. And my voice feels full once again. I don't deal with things. Pray for me. No, I promise. Anyhow, I didn't answer the phone. So finally I called Kingwood, said, hey, I called him about a month ago. I said, do you have someone set up for your orchids? Because they wanted me to speak. They already filled it. Because they tried to call me. So that's fine. They're going to have a wonderful speaker. I'm pretty sure I know who they've chosen from the Orchid Society group. He does speak. It's going to be great. So if you want to go to Kingwood to hear whoever speak, you're going to have a great time. You're going to get a lot of information from him. Yeah. I blew it. But they did say they would like to have me back for, want to know what else I taught and things like that. So I do teach classes. I don't just sit around and do nothing all day long. Yeah. I teach classes. I will have flower arranging classes coming up here in the month of May, which is unfortunately a busy, busy month for me. I mean, come on, I'm going to be in my kayak. What a life, huh? I'm going to be in my kayak. I'm going to be gardening all day long. And I'm going to be hitting auctions to buy plants. I am not going to be going to greenhouses anymore for my plants. I have too much property. I would love to help out a few people with their gardens, putting flowers out. So no, I am not paying greenhouse prices anymore. Except the Oopsie Daisy. That was the nicest day. My daughter has an Oopsie Daisy greenhouse. But I will be going to the auction and I will be purchasing my flowers in great big bulk amount, whatever I want, and bring them home at a very, very, very discounted price. So May's going to be very, very busy, but I have 9 classes I will be teaching. So that's a lot of flower arranging, which will be fun. The ladies or whoever shows up, sometimes some gentlemen show up. They're really, really nice classes. So yeah, May's going to be very, very busy. So do I need 24 more orchids? Yes. So I'm thinking you guys aren't going to be surprised what rolls in the mail probably on Wednesday. I need it. Really, last week was just crap. I thought it was one of those coughs that doesn't do anything. Does nothing. It's just that my typical asthmatic cough, but severe, where you felt like I would scream to my husband and say, "Can't you hear I'm dying in here? Why don't you act like you care?" It was that level of badness. It was bad. But I'm hoping none of you are struggling with that, because it's hit this area really, really hard. And thankfully, I don't know the other two. I don't know how they didn't get it. I'm hearing little hacks and coughs, but they didn't get what I got. I don't understand. Maybe it's because I'm outside so much, out in the cold. I had visited a couple of waterfalls. I had been out in the cold like 2 days before it hit. I spent a lot of time out in the woods. And with asthma in the cold, maybe I shouldn't have been doing that. Maybe I should have had a scarf on. But the waterfalls were phenomenal. I regret nothing. It was I've never seen a waterfall like this. It was absolutely stunning. So I've been busy. I hope you guys have been busy enjoying winter or summer, depending where you are. And to the subscriber, I'm so sorry I didn't research your name before I started this. Water your cattleyas, please. Give them a little drink of water. And yeah, if you have questions like that, please feel free to ask me. Feel free to ask me. I mean, I didn't get the video out right away when she did ask, but I did answer her. I did send her a little message back. So if you have any questions or any tips or advice from me, I am not above getting a little bit of advice on something. I'm really not. I did have a few orchids that I was seeing a little bit of scale on, like the little brown soft scale. So those were all deeply, deeply cleaned, and I did get a systemic, which I don't like to do. I also don't like to see dead orchids. So I did separate them a little bit, and I did put a systemic down in there. I mean, nobody's over there eating the bark. I think we're going to be fine. But you have to do what you have to do. Sometimes it can't always be Dawn dish soap and alcohol. It just can't be. So anyhow, on that depressing note, I hope you're all having a great, great whatever period of your life. I hope you're enjoying your orchids. I hope my birds are not driving you stark raving mad. I don't know what to do with them. So anyhow, please like, share, subscribe, and probably going to have an unboxing. Probably Wednesday or Thursday. So take care, and above all, enjoy those orchids.